Hi, friends. Here's my friend Carla Riechman, and welcome to another episode of um, Soaring Through Chaos. It's not easy. I know everybody says, how can you smile during these difficult times? But as I've said before, we need to find meaning in these times. If we can find a way to find life meaningful during these times, we'll be able to go through pretty much anything. So here I have with me this amazing person I got to know over the last 2 months. We tried to connect for a whole year. It didn't happen for various reasons, but we finally connected 2 months ago, and I've been participating in a lot of Carla's work, both in Giggle Fest. Tell us a little bit about Giggle Fest, and we'll start the giggling laughter first. So, Carla, uh, tell us, how did you get into this whole giggling thing and laughter thing? Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I think it started more in actually Memorial Day weekend, 1989.
Wow,
This
you've been doing
whole
this for a while.
craziness started. Not Giggle Fest University. Um, my laugh kind of took off when I first met Sri Sri Ravi Shankar in Washington, D.C., and I took the course. And I don't know what happened, but I began laughing like crazy. And what happened was I took his course, and I am one of his devotees, I'll admit to that. And how to tell this story? I'm trying to put it in small little pieces. I did my first course in silence starting on my birthday in 1989. And I laughed throughout the course.
Very interesting. And this was a meditation, silent meditation
Right,
course?
it was a
And
silent meditation course.
and and
Well,
uh, where was it, in the United States or
yeah,
in some other country?
it was in Santa Barbara, California.
And at that time, were you still in Pennsylvania?
No, I was living in Washington, D.C. at that point.
Oh, okay,
I had
okay.
sort of, I had moved here about a year and a half before. I was jobless because I kept getting into trouble with principals for wanting to teach children how they should be taught by letting them guide me instead of you learn and memorize this and you'll pass the test and I'll get good um, recommendations and it'll be nice. Instead of that, I was more of a rebel and said, no, this isn't going to help my children, my kids. And I refused to do it. But in this job, I was working with autistic kids and I got mad at the new psychologist who didn't listen to me when I explained the kid that day. And it turned out that I was stupid. I put things in writing. So she
Wow.
took my note when I kind of told her off. She took the note and went to the director, and the director looked at me and said, Carla, you wrote this, didn't you? And I said, yeah, I did. And she said, okay, we will give you a choice. You can either quit on your own. We give you until the end of the week to decide whether you want to quit or we have to fire you. And I decided that I would quit, and I was jobless. Um,
Wow.
it
We
happened.
have that in common, by the way. I have been a rebel most of my life, but the rebellion led me to more and more meaningful things over time. So that's what I see that in you. And this is the first time we are really talking about your history with laughter and giggling. So please continue.
Well, I didn't laugh during that time. Had a lot of tears because my parents were mad at me. They said, no, don't quit. Let them fire you. you know, and I said, well, if they fire me, Mom and Dad, then there's no no unemployment, no severance pay. They gave me money, really enough money to get through for 2 months after I left them. I mean, it was really a perfect deal for someone. And in May, Sri Sri came and I met him.
Interesting. And this is the meditation teacher from India,
Right.
Sri Sri Ravi Shankar's workshops.
Right.
Sudarshan Kriya, Yes Plus are now used in schools. Which one were you taking at that time? Which program?
Well, there was only one program at the time, and it was just the basic course.
The Sudarshan Kriya.
Right. And I took the Sudarshan Kriya, and all things went a little crazy. I got it within, I remember being really upset because I didn't have a job yet.
Yeah.
And I was crying one night, and I just wrote, someone said, write him a letter and send it to him. So I wrote a letter that was going to be airmailed because it was way before computers. It was 1989.
Mm-hmm.
And the next morning, I got a phone call from Washington, D.C. public schools. I did not want to work for them, but they said, we need a special ed teacher. Would you be interested? And yeah, I'll come and talk to you. And lo and behold, I got my first job in D.C. within 2 hours. I was hired as a teacher. I met the principal. The principal said, well, I need a teacher. I'll hire you. And I had a job starting the next day. And, you know, I was like, okay, I have a job now. Sri Sri came back. Remember, I also did a week in silence a few months earlier. Came back, and around Christmas time, and I was hosting a friend, but I thought I would be going to work, and it was snowing, and I began driving to work, and I heard it was funny, I heard over the radio that DC public schools were closed, and I couldn't believe it. I stopped at the police barracks. They said, yeah. Well, I had a friend or someone who I really didn't know staying with me during this visit. I went back and I got her and I said, look, we got to go to Laurel, Maryland and see Sri Sri because I don't have to work and I'll drive you. We don't need you to get a ride. And that's how I met him. You know, I took her there, and she actually is one of the more known teachers in Art of Living now, very well known. And I got there, and Sri Sri called me to his room, and he said, Carla, there are 3 things you need to know. That when you're teaching school, 1, you need to be a friend. Every child needs to make a friend a day. Children need to learn to make mistakes. And 3, the child belongs to the teacher and the teacher belongs to the child. Those 3 things. And he said, go and write about them. And I said, but I don't know anything about them. And he said, go write about them. So I did. I went and I wrote, and he obviously liked it because the next day when I came back, I was told that my letter that I wrote, I wrote about 10 to 18 pages, a whole bunch, was sent to India for his father to read at a conference on education.
Wow.
And that's how this is within a short period of time. Meanwhile, I'm laughing like crazy with him. And he actually wants me to write a book about this, and I'm telling it now. And what has happened is that my laughter has become well known through the Art of Living community. And Sri Sri knows my laugh. And he had me raise money for the school in India. And he said, that's your job, your service project. And I did it for 12 years. I was raising money for $1 a day for the kids in India. And also teaching English. And not teaching school, not necessarily English. I was a special ed teacher. And lo and behold, 12 years later, he's telling me, no, you're not going to be teaching this anymore. You're going to go out and make people laugh. And he took away the $1 a day program and gave it to me to begin teaching people to laugh and smile more.
And I mean, this is what I find fascinating about you. So, what do you think triggered the laughing? And I've seen that every time I'm with you, when you start laughing almost hysterically, I'm like, wow, it's infectious. I'm known in my friend circle to be the guy who smiles and laughs the most. But then I got serious competition when I met you. And I'm really glad. I'm really glad. Do you know what started it? What was that? Because people always look for reasons to be happy, but you seem to have that inner joy.
But you don't, everyone has it. The thing is, it's covered by the stress in the body. And that stress brings more and more, it builds up, and we forget that joy is within ourselves. You and I have a young man in common that I don't want to mention names. And the other night, he contacts me a lot. He said, oh, I'm just so sad. I don't know how to be happy. I don't know how to smile. You're that way because you have the money. And I'm like, I have the money? You have no idea what I have and what I don't have.
I mean, these are illusions. I've been told many, many times by many friends who know me, oh, you have the luxury of retiring. You must have millions of dollars. Sometimes I say, do you know I actually have a lot more than Bill Gates? And then they start laughing. They say, yeah, it doesn't matter how much money is there in the bank. The joy has to come from within. And even satisfaction, living with what we have, is something that needs to be cultivated. And it's not easy, but I mean, I've seen you, Carla, and it's amazing. It's totally amazing. So, given the circumstances that we are in, everybody seems to be stressed with the virus and many other things going on, job losses. Do you have any suggestions on how people can cultivate that inner joy? Is it a long drawn process? Have you done that? What Sri Sri asked you to do to create these laughter?
I have started and I haven't gotten much support in it at all, which has been very frustrating. In fact, I was doing it for a few weeks during this shutdown, and it seemed to be growing, and then all of a sudden it's lacked off to nothing. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to sit here every, 3 times a week waiting for people to come. I can use the time much more wisely. And I began, you said you saw me with Rehan one night. he wanted to do a live with me, and I just went and did it because no one had signed up. But what I attempt to do in every show that I do is start with some laughter and end with laughter, because that's really my signature. And the more that we laugh, the better we're going to feel.
And I've been a part of your Giggle Fest laughter meditation or whatever you call it, as well as your English, learning English by speaking English. And what I find unique is that you really get people involved. Not always, you're not always the nice person. You're not always the person who'll say sweet things to people. That's me. I tend to be the nice guy, but it doesn't always work. You do things differently. Can you tell me what happens in your class when you actually teach people how to learn English? I found the effectiveness is very high. How do you do it?
Present moment. I guess it's not, I don't plan what I'm going to say or do. I just do it in the moment, and whatever seems right comes out. And I really feel, I owe this to Rehan, and I'll probably write him a note after it, or I may even do a live just for him, that doing the work that I've been doing by, quote, coaching people to speak, teaching people to speak English, it's more, I'm not teaching English. I'm actually coaching people to be who they are. And the more I do it, the better I feel. And they react in ways that are quite amazing, especially when I see someone saying, I can't do this. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. You can't do anything because you say you can't do it. But I can't, really. And you've seen me work through this many times. And you say, Carla, you're being rude to them. And I'm like, unintentionally, I don't even know exactly what's coming out or how it's coming across. I'm just being myself, and it comes out like it comes out.
And it's like seeing a Zen teacher at work. There are times when you may, it's tough compassion. There are times when it's not all nice and sweet, but the effectiveness is very high. Yes, some students may not particularly like the style, but I see a lot of people learning really fast, building confidence on live streams, actually within 2 weeks speaking fluent, decent English. Somebody who was stuttering, stammering 2 weeks ago, today in today's show was speaking fluently. That was such a joy to witness. And that's what I'm talking about. What you're doing in English, you probably could do it in many other spheres of life, helping people find something more meaningful, not just, people a lot of times operate out of fear. There's so much fear in the air lately. Have you done workshops where you have helped people come out of that fear?
I think my English class does that often. Actually, I'm about to begin a class for Demi, and I'm hoping it goes well, but it's to deal with why are you afraid and what do you need to do to get over it. And I really believe that in this day and age, we spend too much time focusing outside of ourselves instead of focusing on who we are. And because we don't focus on who we are, it becomes very, very difficult to be who we are and do what we need to do.
And that's what I wanted to find out from you. From whatever I see in you, you've gone through your life challenges. And but at the end of it, going through the chaos of life, you have understood that you can't run away from the chaos, that you can go further into it and then find your way through it. And really sold through it. Could you tell us a little bit about any incidents in your life that led you on this path of self-awareness?
This is really funny. I don't know if this answers your question, but it's the first thing that came to my mind. When I first left my job in DC public schools, which wasn't the job where I told the director, the psychologist off, I kind of learned to be a little more diplomatic. But when I first left my job, I was a little depressed, although I retired, but it was kind of weird because I really wasn't ready to retire at that time. I was forced into it. And I remember being at a mall, and I think I was going to get something, but I had something to eat. And as I was walking through the mall, I realized I was really depressed. And I thought, if everyone's depressed, going around like this and frowning, how it's not going to help anyone, and it's not going to help me. So I decided, I had done a lot of research on smiling, and I decided, okay, I'm going to put a smile on, whether I feel like smiling or not. And I put it on, and it didn't take even a minute to see the change in my body. I began smiling, and I began to feel better. And as I began to feel better, I was able to walk through the mall without crying, which I felt like doing. It wasn't necessary anymore because all of a sudden I knew who I was, and who I was much greater than my worry about money. Now, I'm not saying that I'm completely done worrying about money, but I am completely done in being able to live my life regardless of what the circumstances can be. Is that clear?
Yeah, and that gives a ray of hope to a lot of people. As you know, millions of people have lost their jobs in the last few weeks. And I don't even want to pretend I know what it's like, because there are people who may not have savings. The amount of money that the government can give in the United States is limited. And there are other countries like where I was born, India, where there is really no money or very limited money. But one thing is very clear. I mean, I've been studying the science behind it. Being depressed doesn't help. And there has to be some way. And in your case, clearly, you stop seeing, you know that there are problems, there are challenges to be faced, but you also felt that you're bigger than the problems at the physical level, at the monetary level. That's really amazing. And do you have any message for people who are going through this struggle? Lots of people are going through
this. We all go through cycles. We all have rough times. Financially, I know what I have until the end of May, and it's pretty sad right now. But I just know that life goes up and down. And there'll be good points and there'll be bad points. And the point is to be able to breathe through the negativity and see something good in it. Every moment has both the negative and the positive. If we look at the negative, we're going to be stuck in it. If we look at the positive, we're going to be stuck there. Where would you rather look? Where there's hope, or would you rather look where there's no hope? I have chosen hope for different reasons, and I'm not sorry I chose it, but it is definitely a different way of thinking.
And tell me more about the work you're doing with the Institute of Peace and many of these other initiatives you've been involved in.
I talk to people. Basically, my whole life is around talking to people, talking to people, talking to people. So when I have a moment not to talk, believe me, I take it and I feel I absolutely need it. But in talking to people and getting to know different people around the world, there's a joy in it. And I just enjoy doing it. I never talk about money or politics or religion. You know, it doesn't make sense to do that. We may talk a little about politics because it may come up, oh, is there going to be a post office tomorrow? We don't know. But even so, I don't want to divide people, and everyone has different feelings about what's happening in the United States. So I stay away from those discussions. Everyone has different feelings about what education should look like.
That's true.
Again, you need to stay away from worrying about those situations. You can only move in the direction you want to move, and it's up to you to make that decision.
And in what ways does the Institute of Peace contribute to peace? I've seen some of the talks that you've held. Can you give examples of how it has transformed people?
Conversations.
Sorry.
Conversation, talking to people who may not think exactly like you do.
Mhm.
And all we need to do, I mean, when I interview, it's quite different than you. You talk and talk and talk. But when I interview someone, I spend time listening because I may not agree with what they may be saying. But if I listen closely enough, there's something to learn, and there's a way to grow from what that person says. And it's important that we learn to listen to each other in order to grow. There's not another sentence.
Wow, I can actually feel that silence when you say that.
Really, it's the silence. Think of it this way. Like the fish live in the sea and they're surrounded by water and they blow bubbles and they live. We are surrounded by air. And that air doesn't change because it's in Mexico or in Pakistan or wherever. We're all connected. And no matter what, in this connection that we live, we are all sharing that, and that's the essence of our lives. This body is only a way of manifesting or understanding where the world is. So why not use these tools that were given to us and are innate in us instead of taking drugs, instead of drinking, instead of doing a lot of the crazy things that are happening in the world? It's not necessary.
Since you started meditating way back in the 80s, did it make a big difference in your life or even earlier?
I started on October 16th, 1971.
Wow. So how has life changed for you? What brought you onto this meditative path?
When I was in high school, there was a course called Humanities in 9th grade. And the principal of the school taught the course. And it had all kinds of grades. Dr. Gladhorn is cool, you know. And he came to school on a motorbike.
Wow.
Of the time.
Must be California.
No, it was
No.
Philadelphia.
Wow.
Philadelphia.
Wow.
He was the coolest guy, and I didn't quite fit into what he wanted for the people in that class. So I went to him and I begged him, please let me in the class. I really want to take the class. And he let me in. And he had us read Siddhartha, the story of Buddha.
Wow, interesting.
And I wanted so much to find my own teacher, someone who would guide me spiritually. And that's how it all started. I needed to find my own teacher. And it wasn't, it wasn't the rabbi at the synagogue, it was someone I had not yet met.
Wow, so you started getting into meditation from high school days onwards.
No, I had an interest,
Correct.
but I didn't learn until I was in college at State College, Pennsylvania.
And what was your journey like? If somebody were to get into meditation today, what would you recommend to them? Because this question gets asked often.
Well, at that point, it was transcendental meditation. Right now, I would say, now I'm going to sound like an advertisement for Art of Living.
No, because everything has its place. Please go ahead.
I would say that, one, you need to know your breath and know that there's rhythms of the breath when you're angry and happy and whatever. And those rhythms are what guide us in life. So if you want to get rid of something, become aware of your breath. And in becoming aware of your breath, you begin to move out because you come to that silence which underlies all of nature.
Wow. And have you ever done like a short meditation class where you help people guide through that? Or would you recommend people go and do a formal meditation class?
Well, the laughter meditation class sort of does that.
Would you like to do one for us now?
We need more time than you can give me.
How much time do you need for that?
I need about half an hour.
Half an hour. Okay. How about this? Let's do it. And yeah, let's just do it. For me, time is never the issue. It's an issue of what are people interested in. I feel that I've actually been to your laughter meditation class and I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
So in the last few minutes, we had a discussion about Carla, her life, how she got into meditation. And it's really amazing. I felt that all of us should get a taste of her meditation style and what she does. So here we are again. Carla, please lead us into your laughter meditation. At least give us some idea how it works.
Okay, I'm going to give both parts of it, but in a very short dose. Because we really don't have enough time to do a complete one. But meditation is a very simple thing. Everyone tends to overthink it. Meditation is simple. It's complete relaxation. So instead of working very hard to think or to get your thoughts out of your head, it happens very simply. And we all forget that most of the time. I should have introduced myself again.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead and introduce yourself, Carla.
Hello, I am Carla, the founder of Giggle Fest University, and I am here with Shankar right now to do a very short laughter meditation session. There are two parts to my laughter meditation. The first part is the smile meditation, and the second part is the laughter meditation. Both are equally important. Many people are afraid to laugh and let go, because if they had parents like mine who said, Carla, when you laugh, they can hear you across the Atlantic Ocean in Denmark, you just need to laugh. And my mom would always say, laugh a little quieter, please. I don't want the neighbors coming and knocking on our door because you're too loud and the police being sent. It kind of keeps people from letting their laugh go or feeling very comfortable with laughter. So what I have learned through the years is that laughter comes into two shapes. One, your smile and your laughter are your biggest antidepressants in the world. We're going to start with the smiling meditation, which allows you to relax and be ready to laugh and give your laughter 100%. That means that's all you're doing. So what I'd like you to do, Shankar, is sit comfortably, close your eyes, and just follow the simple directions that I will be giving you to walk you through this. Okay, close your eyes and take a deep breath in and let go. Take another deep breath in and let go. Put a smile on your face and let that smile just be there. Because every time you smile, you are sending a message to your brain for your body to relax. There are 2 glands right under your eyes. And when you smile, what happens is those glands are activated. And right away, your body begins to change and to relax. Your body chemistry changes from wherever it was to a more relaxed state. Take a deep breath in and let go. Take another deep breath in and let go with that smile on your face and relax. Relax totally. Take another deep breath in and let go. Take another deep breath in and let go. And let your smile grow even bigger. Let it grow so it fills up all your face, from forehead to chin and from ear to ear. Your whole face is one big smile. And it also covers your whole head, in the front and the back. Feel that smile throughout your head. And take a deep breath in and let go. Take another deep breath in and let go. And relax completely. Let your smile grow even bigger so it fills up all your whole body, from fingertips to fingertips, and from the tippy top of your head to your toes. Your whole body is one big smile. And you're relaxing deeper and deeper into your body. Take a deep breath in and let go. Take another deep breath in and let go. And relax. Your smile's getting bigger. It's filling up the whole room you're in right now. And everything in that room is sparkling with joy and happiness. And your smile is giving that joy to it. Take a deep breath in and let go. Take another deep breath in and let go of your smile throughout that room. And feel the joy just growing in your body, throughout your body, and throughout the room. Take a deep breath in and relax. Take another deep breath in and relax as your smile fills up the whole building you're sitting in right now. From ceiling to floor and from actually roof to floor or basement and from wall to wall. The whole building is full of the joy of your smile. And take a deep breath in and let go. Take another deep breath in and let go. And your whole house or the whole building is full of your smile and your joy. Take another deep breath in and let go. Take another deep breath in and let go. Let your smile come back to the room that you're sitting in. And relax completely. Take another deep breath in and let go. Take another deep breath in and let go. Bring your smile back into your body. Let your whole body feel your smile, from fingertips to fingertips and from head to toe. Just let your whole body feel that smile. Take a deep breath in and let go. Take another deep breath in and let go. Let your smile find its way back to your face and on your lips. And when you're ready, you may open your eyes. How do you feel now?
I feel relaxed. When we began, I had an ache on the left side of my body. I feel much relaxed.
Really? And that was a real short version.
Yeah, but I could feel it. I could feel as through the process of smiling, I was able to let go of a lot of that physical pain. It's not completely gone, but it's much relaxed.
But that's the power of your smile. You don't need drugs. You don't need drinks or drugs or anything. You just need to smile. It's really powerful. Okay, And again, we're doing very, very short processes. I didn't know how it would go because it's so short. Now, what I need you to do, we're going to do the laughter process, and again, for a short period of time. But what I need you to do 3 things. 1, I need you to give your 100% to your laughter. Now, what that means could mean anything. But you're not going to be talking. You're not going to be doing anything else but laughing. And the reason you do this is as you're doing that, your body, your mind clears out of all the thoughts and you're ready to sit in meditation. Such a short one is hard. I'm not sure what to do. Just relax. Give your laughter 100%. We will laugh for a short period of time, and then we will sit in the silence that the laughter creates, and that will be meditation. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Any questions?
No.
Okay, so and if you don't feel like laughing, just make the sounds hoo hoo, ha ha, hee hee, hoo hoo, ha ha, hee hee. It will eventually turn into laughter. Okay, let's get started. Close your eyes and relax. Take a deep breath in and let go. Eyes closed. Take another deep breath in and let go. Relax completely. If there's still a giggle there, let it go. Let it be there. If there isn't, that's fine. It doesn't matter. Just relax. Take a deep breath in and let go. Take another deep breath in and let go. Let your laughter or your giggle run through your body with a high, run through your body and relax. Keep your smile on your face and laughter in your heart. Take another deep breath in and let go. Relax completely. Take another deep breath in and let go. And just slip into the quietness. You first were real loud, and now you're quiet. Both go together, hand in hand. Take a deep breath in and let go. Take another deep breath in and let go. Feel that relaxation throughout your body, from your head to your tippy toes, and from your fingers to your fingers. Just totally relax. Take another deep breath in and let go. And when you're ready, you may open your eyes. How do you feel now?
You know, it's been a journey. I rarely do laughter meditation. Mostly I just sit in silence. And this is very different. Uh, it's a very visceral experience, whole body goes into it. And many times when I do a lot of laughter, even if it's a regular when I'm laughing, I get some pain in a certain part of my body. And the doctor has never been able to figure out what it is. It's some muscle spasm. Today I felt it again. What's interesting was at the end, when we did the silent sitting with it, I was able to allow it to come and go and let it relax. And that's really precious because this is not a new thing. Since 2011, I remember going through this pain on my right side below the rib cage. And to be able to relax into it has never happened after a laughter. So I'm really grateful I went through that experience of silent meditation after the laughter. I think it's necessary.
Yeah. And people don't realize it. They think laughter is a joke, but we don't need to laugh because of anything going outside of us. If we want to be happy, we need to learn to laugh.
Wow. Yeah,
But
and I know that for a fact. The days when I don't laugh, the days when I don't smile, I get into that melancholy for no reason at all, like ennui, boredom. It's easy to slip into that. So laughter is important. And then we look for jokes and we look for this, look for that. I'm grateful I did this practice and actually felt that pain, that the physical pain that's somewhere in some muscle memory. And I'm not trying to make it metaphysical. This is a resident pain in the body. But
yeah.
again, there's a lot to learn from ourselves in all forms of meditation.
Excuse me.
Bless you. So yeah, and I'm grateful we did this. So those people who were with me through the first session where we did the interview, and then we continued to do a very short version of Carla Riechman's laughter meditation. Please contact her directly at Giggle Fest University if you have more questions. Along with this video, I will send the actual URL so you can, the link where you can find Giggle Fest. You can ask her any questions. If you're interested in learning English, that's another thing she offers. But really, I find that her approach towards helping people find meaning in their life very, very effective. I've seen people's lives being transformed over the last 2 months in a live session. So yes, I'm grateful we did this. Do you have any last few closing words before we end this session, Carla?
Smile more and laugh more. You don't need the drugs. You just need to smile. You need to give yourself, realize that the joy is within you, not in the cars, not in the houses, not in the things you own. It's within you, inside of you. And let the laughter and your smile bring you to that joy. Then you'll really enjoy whatever.
And we can do this entirely during lockdown, even during quarantine. So it's always available to us.
Right.
Thank you again. Thank you very much. Shalom, namaste, salam, and I'm grateful again.
Thank you. I'm glad it could help you.